Welcome to the Edge of Greatness podcast. The path to greatness is never linear and requires patience and consistency. Join us on our journey as we peel back the layers of success, searching for that elusive core. Each week we will explore a different component of greatness, utilizing experts who have traveled some part of the path that we are all on. We aim to uncover insights into the areas of leadership, coaching, performance, overcoming failure, the power of habits, and so much more. We are all on the edge of greatness.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Edge of Greatness podcast. I'm your host, Charles Schultz, and today I'm just going to do a real quick couple questions for you. I got an idea earlier today. I was thinking about how we can help our younger generation become better communicators. And one of the things I was thinking about is recently I was a guest on another podcast. I've been actually a guest on a couple podcasts in the last few weeks. And there's something about being interviewed that is different than being the interviewer. And along those lines, I started thinking to myself, how much value would there be if our teachers each week did a interview process with their students? So you have at the end of class, you're going through a section and you have the class interview a single person, and that person has to answer the questions in front of everybody. And then it rotates people throughout the year. So everyone gets a chance to be interviewed and everyone gets a chance to ask questions. And I was also thinking in terms of with my athletes with my baseball team. And at the end of each game, assigning somebody or voting on an MVP for that game and doing a post-game interview. It's something that you see all the time at the major league level. It's something you see even sometimes at the higher college tournament levels. But why not get used to doing something like that now? You get a chance to learn how to answer questions. You have to be ready to respond to different things that may be asked of you. And then the other part of that is each week, the week before MVP gets to ask the questions. So it changes each week who's asking questions, who's answering questions. And along the way, you record these and everybody gets a chance along the way, you would hope at some point to be named MVP. And you can also do it with practice if you don't have players who get the chance to play all the time to get more people involved. But they all get a chance to ask questions and answer questions. And along the way, they get to become better communicators. They think about quality questions. They think about quality answers. And if you record it, you might even have a fun little thing at the end of the year that you can put together a little compilation of the different interviews and answers. And it would be interesting to me to see if you have a culture that produces similar answers. Or is there so much individualism that the answers are very unique and different? And either way, I don't know if there's necessarily a good or a bad way. I've never done this before, so it was just a thought in my mind that I thought would be fun to play around with. So if you're listening to this and you educate people, or you're a coach, or you have a team that you work with, or whatever it is, I'd be curious if you'd be interested in trying this out and seeing what the responses would be. What kind of answers are you getting? What kind of questions are being asked? And over time, does the quality of the interview increase and improve? Do you see growth in their communication? Do they stop stammering over answers? Do they feel and present a more confident posture and self the more they find themselves in that position of answering questions and asking questions? And I think there's a lot of value in that, because overall, the main emphasis of all of this would be to improve your communication skills. And what better way to improve communication than to force communication? I don't think it's necessarily a bad way to go about doing it. And it shouldn't be too intimidating if you do it in the right setting, They should all be close enough with each other to feel comfortable answering questions in front of the team. We're not doing it in front of random people. We don't have to even show it to anybody else. This is just for our growth as people, as a team. And I thought it would be a fun way to kind of introduce and implement communication skills in a fun and different kind of environment. So if you like that idea, please email me at edgeofgreatnessapparel@gmail.com and let me know if you decide to implement it. And if you do, I'd love to see the results or what you think of the process. So feel free to connect with me there. You can also DM me on Twitter @Coach Schultz. And they're open for you to communicate with me there. The other thought I had today, and this was a story, I shared it on Twitter earlier. I was on my way into Chipotle for lunch. I was, stopping by to get a bowl. And on my way in, I'm walking up to the door and a lady's coming up. And so I open the door and hold it open. That's just something that I have been raised to do, and I've done it my entire life. If somebody's coming in before me or near me, I'm going to open the door and hold it for them. I did it, didn't think anything of it. She was thank you, walked up to the counter, ordered our food, and on the way out, she bought my bowl. And it was one of those things that I didn't hold the door with an expectation of getting something in return. It was just something that I try to do for people when I'm coming in and out of an area. I hold the door for people. And it really brightened up my day. It was an amazing thing that this woman felt inclined to buy my lunch because I held the door for her. And maybe she was looking for an opportunity to give back to, pay it forward or something like that. I don't know. But it was an awesome experience for me. It was really cool to see that there's still people who value that type of manners, I guess is the best way to put it. And it makes me want to do and constantly strive to give kindness more often. I mean, there's a lot of times in this world where you feel like you're trying to do something nice and nobody appreciates it. And not that you need to be receiving things for doing nice things all the time, but it is very cool when occasionally you're doing something that you would typically do anyway, and somebody appreciates it enough to give and return the favor. So another thing I want to ask of you guys is, as you're out there the next week or so, try to do a random act of kindness. Pay for someone's, lunch, buy somebody's gas. Gas is expensive these days. Maybe make someone's week by doing that. I know that's an expensive one, so some of us may not be able to swing that one. But, the idea is hold a door for someone, help somebody with their groceries, walk somebody to their car if it's raining, if you have an umbrella and they don't. Let's just start to be kinder. Let's try to give back to the people in our community and see if we can start to bridge some of the gaps that have been created over the last couple years. So, that's it for today. It was just a real short one, a couple stories for you. I hope you guys try to implement the question and interview process. I think that'd be a fun one to kind of see how that grows. I'm going to try to do it with my 13U team, so I'm sure I'm going to get some unique and interesting answers with that, but I think it'll be fun to do going forward. So, as always, guys, keep reaching for the stars. Remember, whenever we fall, always get up.
Thank you for joining us today on the Edge of Greatness podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and join us again next time as we continue to dig deeper into the key components of greatness. The path to greatness is never linear, so remember to keep pursuing greatness no matter what. Keep stretching your abilities, reach for the stars, and fall flat on your face. But no matter what happens, remember, whenever we fall, always get up. Until next time, I'm Charles Schultz, and this was the Edge of Greatness podcast.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. Please take a moment now to subscribe, rate, and review our show. We are all on the edge of greatness.